texting post date. What you need to do here is not follow up after the date, especially don't follow up immediately after the date. Let's say you went out for drinks, the girl goes home, you text her that night, hey, just letting you know I had a good time, we should do something again. Don't do that, bro. You want her to actually question to herself, did that date go well? Does this guy actually like me? And that will make her more intrigued towards you and potentially text you first after the first date. I promise you, high interest women that you go out on dates with that actually like you, text you after the first date. And if they are not doing that, then you did something wrong on the first date, or she just doesn't like you.
Okay, so first of all, absolutely, texting the woman that night that you had a great date, yeah, don't do that. Part of the reason for that is you're still on, if it was a great date or she's really hot, you know, you're having a great time, you're still on an emotional high. And you need to let that high come back down. You need to find your base level. You need to find your normal level that you're at, because that's where you send the best messages from. It's really easy to know that you're doing it the right way if she texts you first after the date and then you reply. That's the ideal situation. Give her the opportunity to text first. That's always the easiest place to go from. But if she hasn't texted you and you're interested, simply make the statement that you had a good time and then see what happens. A lot of times advice like this, it's very absolute. It's a good place to start if you're really struggling. If you're a guy that has a lot of neediness, having basic rules like this can be very helpful. This advice for a guy, I would say, again, I would give it a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, somewhere in there. If you are a guy that is not terribly needy, and the next day that woman has not messaged you and you really are thinking about her, I think that it's not good advice for you to give up all of your power in the situation and go, well, if she hasn't messaged me, I can't message her. Fuck that. I have a voice as a man. I can step up and I can offer one more step in the dance. And then I'm going to see how she responds. This is a dance, people. What you need to ask yourself is, what is the place that I'm coming from as a man? If I'm coming from a place of eagerness, of being too excited, of wanting to be attached too soon, this piece of advice, absolutely good for you. For a lot of guys, you will outgrow this advice the more confident you become.
So another rule that I like to follow in regards to having selectivity whenever I'm swiping on dating apps, as I'm swiping, I ask myself, would I be embarrassed with going out with this girl on a date? If the answer is yes, I swipe left. You guys need to follow that too. Then number two, I ask myself, would I smash her twice? If you will only smash a woman one time, one and done, that's probably a sign that you shouldn't swipe right on her, bro. Now, keep in mind, this mentality is only going to come through abundance and having options.
The basic underlying principle, though, of this advice is you need to be selective even in your swiping. You can check out the podcast interview that I did about the #1 Tinder dating profile. He talks about how to hack the algorithm. And I don't remember the specifics, but there's some type of video game type algorithm where basically like beginner players are at this level and like advanced players are at this level. And essentially inside of dating apps, they run on very similar algorithms. I would also very much encourage you, though, to ask yourself, what are my criteria that would cause me to swipe left? For me, I ask myself, who would I be excited to go on a date with? And if I wouldn't be excited to go on a date with, then when they match with me and I look at in the inbox, it feels like work. It feels like I have to, okay, well, what am I going to say to them? And I find myself in draining myself in the process. I would use these as examples of questions to ask yourself. Would I be embarrassed in public? That's a question that he's learned to ask himself. I asked myself, would I be excited to send a message to this woman? Would I be excited to go on a date? That's my question that I ask myself. Every guy should be coming up with questions that it makes it easy for you to swipe left on more than half of the women. That, I think, is the real takeaway from this video. Yeah, so overall for this video, I would say I would give it about 7. I would give it 7 out of 10. I think it's excellent that guys are thinking about strategies for swiping left.
Never tell a woman that you want a relationship first. I've mentioned this in past videos, but when you come to a woman asking for a relationship first, it kind of shows the dynamic of the relationship and how things are going on. A woman should always come to you and ask you, what are we? Where's this going? Can we date now? Do you want a relationship? And that shows that she wants you. So if she has never brought up any relationship talk to you and you come to her asking like, hey, what's your thoughts on a relationship? It just really lowers your value. because it shows that, one, you don't have options, and two, you're not abundant, and that goes into other pre-selection and other things that turn women off that they don't even know that turns them off. So be that guy that just casually dates them, and if they want a relationship, trust me, they will let you know.
Yeah, I would agree with that. What you want to be focused on when you're dating is you're providing her with an exceptional experience. It's fun, it's exciting, she feels connection. That's what you should be focused on when you're dating her. That's what creates the highest level of attraction. And honestly, if it's written all over her that she is way into you, she might be on the shy side. She might not want to bring it up. And she might be a little more traditional, saying, well, I'm going to wait until the guy leads me into this. And that's when it's just really clear that the two of you are way into each other. I don't think there's anything in those situations where you can sense that the woman on her end is all the way warmed up. She is way into it. And in those situations, again, I don't think it's asking her if she will be in a relationship with you. It's telling her. It's a good piece of dating advice. It's not absolute. It's a quick TikTok video. I don't expect him to go into all those details. For guys that are coming from a needy place, nice guys that are feeling eager, I would say absolutely as a place to start, I would give this 8 out of 10 as advice for guys. You absolutely, if you find that you're a guy that's often after 2 dates or 3 dates asking a woman, this piece of advice is very, very good for you. Yeah, 8 out of 10 stars, I'd say.
3 texting rules I always follow whenever I'm texting a new girl. Number 1 is going to be not texting too early or not texting too late. If you're anything like me, you wake up in the morning, reply back to all your texts, including that girl you were having a conversation with the night before. I'm talking like 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., which isn't a big deal for a girl you're already seeing. But if you haven't seen this woman yet, or you only met a few times, then you should wait until noon or later. That way you don't look so eager to get back to the text conversation and look like you have nothing going on in your life. Like, bro, make breakfast, brush your teeth, like do something. Now, in terms of too late, you want to give yourself a cutoff at either 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. The only exception is if, something's happening, the conversation is going a different way. In that case, yeah, keep texting her. But otherwise, cut it off, leave the conversation until the next day. Next rule is that you need to match her energy. What I mean by this is that if she's taking 4 hours to reply back to you, don't you go taking 30 minutes or an hour to reply back. Take 3 hours, take 4 hours sometimes. Mix it up and be unpredictable. And lastly, use texting more to set up dates, not to just mindlessly have small talk. You guys are wondering why women are becoming less interested in you because you're texting her thinking that it would gain attraction, but that actually loses attraction because you're giving away all your mystery. So leave the conversation for in person or maybe on the phone, but use text sparingly for small talk, but mostly just to set up dates.
This guy actually talks about one of the videos that I put out earlier, which is you want to connect with a woman in person. That's where the connection is going to happen. This guy, get up out of bed. So he mentions in the video that texting should mainly be for setting up dates. I think early in the morning is kind of the perfect time to do that. If you're getting up and you're getting ready and you're doing your thing and it's 6:15 a.m., she's still sleeping. Actually, that'd be the perfect time to say, hey, I know you might still be sleeping, but I just wanted to see if you're available, later tonight. I'm off work at 6 o'clock. Would you like to grab a drink? If you send that early in the morning and she actually is still sleeping, and she gets that, she's going to think, okay, this is a guy that gets up and does things with his day, and he's planning his days, thinking about it, and he wants to make me a part of those plans. There is nothing needy about it, and you keep it short. I would say if she replies to you, yeah, if you get into some long, involved conversation for an hour in the morning, you are showing that you have nothing else that you've got going on that day. Showing that you're up in the morning and doing things, I don't know. I personally think a lot of women find that attractive. I don't know any women that are turned off by a guy that gets up early in the morning and gets going with what he's doing. So if you find yourself overthinking, should I text her in the morning or in the evening? How long should I wait? Dude, you're focusing too much on the texting and you're thinking about the texting as the ending goal in itself. The bottom line is texting should lead to in-person interactions, in-person connections. Even when you're in a relationship, the texting should be leading to and feeding the in-person relationship that you have. Overall, this advice might be speaking to a certain group of guys that message a certain way. But overall, as far as what I consider to be strong, confident men that are going somewhere in their life, I would say this advice is kind of weak. I give it maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10. It has some good value to it, but I don't feel that it at all leads you to a very confident, clear place as a man. You should text a woman in the morning. Absolutely. If you think it should be, if you're up and at it and you're thinking about her and you want to invite her out to something later, you text her at 6 a.m. on your way to the gym. Don't trust these rules blindly. You need to listen to them and then check in with yourself. Does this work for me? Does this feel right? All right, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.